Today on the Trent Out Loud Podcast. He is blatantly and unapologetically so into himself and so into his own desires and his own selfishness that he can't even begin to deal with his fears of divorce. What up? It's your boy, Trent Out Loud, and I'm back with another episode. All right, it's Monday morning. I hope y'all are ready for the week ahead and you got some rest on the weekend and you're recharged and ready for the week. To help you kick off your week, as you know, I got a good show, as always, set up for you guys today. I got 4 lead stories. We're going to kick it off with the viral 2 words that everybody's talking about the past couple of weeks. Mindful and demure. It has been trademarked. I'll tell you guys all about it. In our second lead story, we're going to talk about an ex-fan that's suing Nicki Minaj for $5 million. Then we're going to talk about Hulk Hogan's biopic getting canceled amid backlash from threatening Kamala Harris. And then in our last lead story, we're going to talk about Cam Newton going viral over the weekend for his comments he made about marriage and divorce. Then we're going to jump into quick news. We're going to talk about our hometown boy, Drizzy Drake, Jennifer Lopez's divorce, TLC canceling their tour, Latto commenting on her beef with Ice Spice. Again, we have another story about our hometown boy, Drizzy Drake. And then we're going to close out quick news with Robert F. Kennedy's family giving him a little bit of backlash for supporting Donald Trump. Then we got question of the day. And as always, we're going to close out with a little bit of sports news. Y'all know what time it is. Turn your TVs, your radio, your devices up. I'm about to start this show. Let's go. Not mindful, not demure. Person swoops in and trademarks very demure and very mindful phrase before the creator that popularized it. All right. So for those of you who have like teenagers or whatever, young adults running around saying very demure and very mindful, and you don't know what it is all about, let me tell you. So you have probably heard of the newest popular phrase, very demure, very mindful. It became a social media phenomenon, taking the internet by storm and has the hottest celebrities tapping in. The woman who popularized it is a TikToker who goes by Jules LeBron. Recently, Jules posted a tearful message on her socials, letting fans know that somebody trademarked her popular phrase before she did. According to TMZ, somebody named Jeffrey Bates from the state of Washington decided to file a trademark for very demure, very mindful. Little is known about this person, but they filed the trademark with the intention to use the phrase for advertising, marketing, and promotional services. This is so bad. I feel so bad for this influencer. As you guys know, I always stand up for content creators, influencers. We're a tight bunch who works hard and doesn't always normally get paid for our work. You got to be smart out here. Anyways, take a listen to first. I want you guys to take a listen to the celebrities that have been using it, and then we'll listen to the content creator. She left a little voicemail, a video note about what's happening to her. Okay, so here's some celebrities talking about very demure and very mindful. Here's Serena Williams.
You see how I went in my makeup? It's not too much. It's just enough. It's not overwhelming. It's very mindful. It's very demure.
All right, here's Saucy Santana.
You see how I did a sexy red concert? Very cutesy, very mindful, very sexually secure, very demure.
Here's my girl, Glorilla.
You see how I come to the studio, no makeup. I have on a plain Jane watch, not full of diamonds. Very mindful, very cutesy, very demure.
Very cutesy, very demure. Yo, she's very Memphis. All right, who else do I got here? Okay, so here is the content creator, Jules LeBron, letting us know what happened to her. Right, take a listen.
This merch situation is like really like me up. Like, I've just invested so much money and time into this, and I feel like I did it wrong. Like, I feel like I didn't try hard enough. Like, I wanted this to like do so much for like my family and like provide for my transition. And like, I just feel like I dropped the ball. Like, I feel like I up and like someone else has it now.
All right, I feel really bad for her, man. But if I know social media well, and I do know it well, she may not have got to cash in on the trademark. Somebody somewhere is going to do something for her. They're going to put her on a show. They're going to, she's going to go on podcast. There's something that's going to happen. She's going to sign a deal somewhere. Something is going to happen. And maybe she could actually even work with the person who owns the trademark, with a bigger company, and they could even buy this person out. Or give him maybe like a back end deal. Be like, okay, look, man, how much should it cost you for the trademark? X amount. Okay, we're going to give you, 10% of it, but we at whoever the big company is, right? Let's say it's, I don't know, what are those big, who knows, a big sponsor, okay? A big sponsor, a makeup line or whatever. Be like, hey, listen, we'll give you 5%, but we want ownership of it. Something's going to happen because this thing has gone really big. I hope, and I hope it just doesn't die out. But anyways, here is one of the original posts that started it off from Miss LeBron. Here it is, the original one from her TikTok. Take a listen.
See how I do my makeup for work? Very demure, very mindful. I don't come to work with a green cut crease. I don't look like a clown when I go to work. I don't do too much. I'm very mindful while I'm at work. See how I look very presentable? The way I came to the interview is the way I go to the job. A lot of you girls go to the interview looking like Marge Simpson and go to the job looking like Patty and Selma. Not demure. I'm very modest. I'm very mindful. You see my shirt? Only a little chichi out, not my chocho.
See how I'm dressed? Very mindful, very demure. All right, in our second lead story, an ex-fan is suing Nicki Minaj for $5 million over humiliation claims. Nicki Minaj is reportedly being sued by a fan, now foe, for emotional distress after alleged public humiliation. According to reports obtained by TMZ, a lawsuit has been filed on behalf of Demure Trademarked, who is allegedly a victim of humiliation and harassment. In the claim, Demure states that Nicki made him out to be unsustainable by calling him a mentally unstable stalker via live. Demure had been a huge fan of the rapper. However, things went left in 2017 when he was allegedly accused by the rapper of being a paid mole sent to sabotage her. In the lawsuit, Demure includes experiencing ridicule after Nicki had invited him to her hotel on one occasion to embarrass him on Instagram Live with at least 100,000 people watching. Documents also included an experience during the 2020 Super Bowl event where Demure said he was battered by Nicki's husband, Kenneth Penny. The attorney representing Nicki states, Mr. Peak has been harassing Nicki Minaj on social media for years to no avail. He has now graduated to seeking to shake her down financially with manifesting false allegations and legally falsifying claims. He will regret having gone down this disturbing road when he is forced to pay her legal fees as required by California law. I really don't know too much about this story. I'll keep it 100 with you. I did hear a little bit about it. I heard that there's people who she's bringing to her defense. I will say though, I've seen a couple of Nicki Minaj's lives and she really does not play around. But when fans come at her, she just goes for their head and takes their heads off. That's Nicki Minaj, right? Especially when she's on live. We all know how Nicki's attitude is, but is that grounds for harassment? If you're harassing a star and they're on their live and you're trying to, just egg them on and she comes back at you, is that harassment? Can't she counter sue and be like, you're harassing me? So anyways, whatever. I think this is probably frivolous and will probably just get thrown out, but just crazy how that's the thing about the US, man. Yeah. You said you called me this and you called me that. Give me 5,000. Give me $5 million. It's nuts. All right, in our third lead story, Hulk Hogan's biopic reportedly canceled amid backlash over threats to VP Kamala Harris. The planned biopic filmed about legendary wrestler Hulk Hogan has been scrapped following Hogan's threat to body slam Vice President Kamala Harris, according to Atlanta Black Star. As previously shared, a video captured the wrestler drinking a beer on stage and fist pumping in front of a cheering audience as he endorsed the brand. Tensions rose rapidly when he unexpectedly grabbed the microphone and issued a threat to body slam the Democratic presidential candidate. Do you want me to body slam somebody? You want me to body slam Kamala Harris? I said, do you want me to body slam Kamala Harris? He shouted. Do you want me to drop a leg on Kamala? He said in the video. Director Todd Phillips revealed that the biopic titled The Hulkster is being shelved. As reported by Sports Illustrated, the film had been in development since 2019. All right, I have a clip from The Hulkster. Here it is.
You want to get crazy? You want me to throw more beers out? You want me to body slam somebody? You want me to body slam Kamala Harris? You want me to drop a leg on Kamala?
Okay, guys, you know me. I always call it like I see it. This is not a political show. I'm not on anyone's side. But that video, there's nothing wrong with what he said, man. He is a wrestler. He's Hulk Hogan. Saying, yo, do you want me to body slam Kamala Harris? Do you want me to drop a leg on her? Like, this is what Hulk Hogan does. Like, wrestling is not real. We all saw him at the Republican campaign. You know, he's a Trumpster. Like, that's his people. That's his whatever. Like, this is really not a big deal. This is no reason to give him backlash, and this is no reason to scrap a movie. They probably just didn't want to do the movie, and they're using this as an excuse because this really is not bad to me. Like, this is, I think this is a little bit ridiculous. Donald Trump, Hulk Hogan did actually get let go from the WWE, and he lost a lot of money because he was caught using the N-word on a video. And that I completely agree with. But him saying, and this was like 2-3 years ago, and he said that he's racist. So, and I'm not trying to stand up for somebody who's racist. I'm not trying to stand up for a white person who uses the N-word, but I just got to call it like I see it. Like, saying you want to body slam Kamala Harris, there's nothing like, come on, man. Like, he's on stage at a little rally or a little show. There's really nothing wrong with this. He shouldn't have backlash for this. He should have backlash for using the N-word. That's what he should get backlash for. And, you know, people like Trump shouldn't have people like that on the stage. That is a problem. Saying you want to body slam somebody and drop a leg on them, like, that's what Hulk Hogan does. Like, give me a break. Okay, in our fourth and final lead story. Okay, this is the story that I really want to talk to you guys about. Cam Newton says that he wants more children. And he said, my desire to get married is lower than my fear of divorce. Let me repeat that. My desire to get married is lower than my fear of divorce. This literally went viral. Everybody was talking about this over the weekend. And I'm going to play a clip and then we're going to talk about it. It starts off by saying, during an interview with Cam Newton, he got transparent about marriage and wanting more children. In the interview, he says, my desire to get married is lower than my fear for divorce. Cam Newton has 8 kids, by the way. All right, here is the viral clip and we'll talk about it on the other side.
Okay, so I'm not married. I have beautiful children.
How many?
8.
By how many women?
3. And this is the kicker. I want more. My desire to get married is lower than my fear of divorce.
I say this with all respect and love, what I'm about to say next, okay, Cam? But you will selfishly create broken families. Even if you're in their life, these families are still broken. Every child cannot have Papa in the house with them. Those are selfish acts. And yeah, that is a low functioning behavior.
Okay, the reason why I like this so much is because I am a single man who has a healthy fear of divorce and has never been married. So I was very anxious to hear about this and dig deeper into the conversation. But then when I found out that Cam Newton has 8 children with 3 different baby mamas, right away I said, yo, we are not the same, my brother. You know, so like, we are not even close because I do not have any kids and I've never been married. And like, he is, and I'm not saying that he's not afraid of divorce, but he is being selfish. And I thought that before I even heard the rest because I just saw the clip and then I watched the whole thing that I just played for you guys. And I love how this therapist literally flat out came and told him, bro, you're just selfish. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, because that's literally what I thought about as those words were coming out of his mouth. I thought the interview was going to be, man, you know, like, I'm single, I don't have any kids, so I'm really nervous, whatever. And I thought we were going to get some therapy on the same feelings that like I have. And I literally quoted therapy for the same thing, right? So I was really happy to hear another man in my point of view. But to hear the disappointment of like, yo, if you had, let's say, like one kid and one baby mom, I'd be like, tried it one time and we could forgive you. But 8 kids, 3 different women, bro, you don't have a healthy fear of getting divorced. You're just selfish. You know what I mean? You're not, and like the therapist said, I don't know if we played this, but like, what about the kids? Like, you're not going to be able, and he said he wants more kids. Like, I don't really feel like he has a fear of divorce. And I hate saying that because I never want to hear somebody say something like, I don't believe you. But I don't think that he's taken the time to be introspective enough and look within himself. What I think is that it's not necessarily the fear of divorce. He might have a small, like a little bit of trust issues, but he is blatantly and unapologetically selfish, so into himself and so into his own desires and his own selfishness that he can't even begin to deal with his fears of divorce and his low tolerance for marriage because he's so selfish. You know what I mean? Like 8 kids? Man, after one kid that you can't be there and one baby mama and the second one that you at some point you got to be like, yo, I got to stop thinking about myself for a second. Stop thinking about me for 1 second and think about these children. If you don't want to think about your baby mamas, at least think about your own flesh and blood of what you're doing to them and to be like, I want to have more. Yo, this dude is just selfish. Anyways, let me know what you guys think. There's a lot of opinions out there. Are you like me and 100% agree with this therapist that Cam Newton does not deserve to have this conversation about marriage and divorce and he is just selfish? He needs to deal with that part of his ego first. Or do you think it's fair and he really just has a fear of divorce and marriage? Let me know what you think. Trent Out Loud at CFQR600.com. Comment below this video or send me a DM at any of my socials, Trent Out Loud. All right, this brings us to quick news. Ring my bell. All right, our first quick news is Drake inspired Jay-Z and Kanye. I'll never know to call him Ye or Kanye, whatever. Inspired Kanye and Jay-Z to make Watch the Throne. Kanye West said this on stage. I have a little clip. Drake just updated his 100gigs.org website with new content, and among the many clips is resurfaced footage of Kanye West at OVO Fest in 2013, saying that Drake's pressure inspired the making of Watch the Throne with Jay-Z. That is huge. I never even saw this. I never even knew about this. But here is a clip. Take a listen.
There's been a lot of rappers that came in the game and wasn't able to do something like this for their city. And we wouldn't be able to make the music that we make. Me and Hogan would have never made Watch the Throne if this nigga wanna put pressure on us like that.
I don't know what our boy Drizzy Drake is up to. I do have another, I think it's like our 5th quick story. There's something else about Drake. And there's one else thing that I'll tell you at the end, but he's heating up. I don't know what this 100 gig and all these leak things, like Drake is cooking. There's something coming. All right, in our second quick story, resurfaced clip of Jennifer Lopez revealing Ben Affleck had "Not Going Anywhere" engraved on her engagement ring. All right, I was so caught up with all of the DNC, Kamala Harris, Donald Trump last week. I did not report on this, but I know you guys must have heard it because everybody is talking about it. So I wanted to throw this in just to let y'all know that I did not forget about this and it did not pass me. I just didn't have enough time to talk about it last week. All right. Looks like there is a lot that has been changed since this interview. According to TMZ TV, back in 2022, J-Lo revealed to at that time, the Zane Lowe Show, that during her second chance at love, Ben was so excited to spin the block that he said, that he had Not Going Anywhere engraved on her engagement ring as a symbol of his dedication. Jennifer Lopez also shared that Ben Affleck would often sign off his emails with the same phrase when they reconnected after 2 decades of being apart. The words held so much significance that the same name on her track, she named a track on her recent album, Not Going Anywhere. Anyways, the ring engagement meant a lot, especially considering their first engagement fell apart in 2003. This whole Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez thing, I don't understand what the big, I understand why it is, because Jennifer Lopez, she's always getting divorced and stuff. But if anybody has ever seen those two out, or pictures or videos with them, they never seemed like the loving couple. They don't seem like the Barack and Michelle or the Jay and Beyonce. They never seemed into anybody, never seemed into each other. I was just always waiting for them to break up. I just never liked them together. That was just me personally, though.
On the inside of this ring right here, my engagement ring that he gave me, it says not period, going period, anywhere period.
All right, in our third quick story, TLC cancels upcoming performances after T-Boz's medical diagnosis. After a recent TLC performance, it has been reported that T-Boz began experiencing severe symptoms that led to be diagnosed with abdominal blockage. This health-related issue has led to the cancellation of the TLC's State Affair performance in New York. Okay, this is a long statement, but I'll just read a couple of lines. After delivering an electrical performance in Ohio on Thursday, TLC was eagerly anticipating their next stop at the New York State Fair in Syracuse. However, shortly after arriving in Syracuse, T-Boz Atkins experienced sudden and severe nausea, vomiting, and intense abdominal cramps. She was immediately seen by a doctor and subsequently taken to the hospital for future evaluation. It goes on and on, etc. It says TLC is committed to rescheduling their canceled shows and apologizes to fans. Y'all know I'm a big TLC fan. I should have worn my TLC shirt. I knew the story was going to be in here this morning. Anyways, if you're like me and a big TLC fan, you know that T-Boz has always been sick her whole entire life. I can't remember what she has. Anyway, she has some disease that she's living with since they came out. But anyways, shout out to TLC, man. Love T-Boz. Reminds me, rest in peace to Left Eye as well, too. But for those of you who were looking forward to this TLC tour, there is going to be canceled, but they will come back out when T-Boz is feeling better, and they'll reschedule the canceled shows. All right, in our fourth quick story, Latto gets asked about Ice Spice and reveals that she doesn't have any problems with anyone. Latto said, "What beef?" In a recent interview, when asked about Ice Spice, Latto says that she doesn't have any beef with anyone. All right, this was on 2 Chainz and Halo's podcast. This is a really dope podcast. If you guys haven't checked it out, you should check it out. 2 Chainz' son, he looks to be around maybe 9 or 10 years old. He does a podcast with his dad. Super cute. And you know how kids are. They just say whatever they want. 2 Chainz wished that he could have asked this question, but didn't by his reaction. But listen to young Halo talk to Latto about Ice Spice. It's really funny. Take a listen.
Is it true you got beef with Ice Spice?
Oh my God, here we go.
Halo, what the world?
What? Let me tell you something, Halo. I don't got no problem with nobody because beef is a different thing. You feel me? That's a whole different type of conversation. I ain't got no beef with nobody.
2 Chainz is like, Halo, what in the world? Bro, you know that you wanted to ask that question. Anyway, shout out to Halo. And also shout out to Latto too. She wasn't scolding him or belittling him, be like, oh, you shouldn't be asking those questions or whatever. She could have handled it like that, but she was in an interview. She handled it like he was a journalist. He asked a question that everybody wanted to ask. And she's like, yo, I don't have beef with anybody. And you all know, I've talked to you guys about Latto and Ice Spice before. It's not like beef. It's more just competition beef. They both came out around the same time or whatever. They were cool and they kind of go back and forth. It's subliminal. I could picture 5 or 10 years from now, them getting together on a stage somewhere or whatever. This ain't no real beef, man. This is just hip-hop competition, and I love them both. All right, in our fifth quick story, new music poppy My gosh, I can't believe I just said that out loud. I hate reading some of these titles sometimes. I never want to call Drake Poppy. New music Drake dropped. Drake drops 3 new tracks on his Burna account. Plot twist. All right, this happened over the weekend, I think it was. I think it was maybe like Friday. Last time I checked, they each have 1 million views. So Drake has been leaking these... they are full songs mixed and mastered. So he's been leaking music. He's really been putting them on this 100gigs.org website, putting content out, putting music out. He put out SOD Super Soak without Yachty. I talked with you guys about that last week, that Yachty unfollowed him for taking him off the track. There's another track, No Face, which is really dope. It's the first time we hear Drake kind of actually addressing the beef a little bit. He said that he was really happy whoever came out was beefing with him because he knew you were fake anyways. Now I know exactly who you are. Took a couple of shots. That was really good. There was another one. I can't remember the name of it, but I'm such a big fan of Super Soak. I played that like 2-3 times in a row. I can't wait for that to hit DSPs. As I told you guys earlier, he did put out that snippet with Kanye. So we don't know what's going on. And then last night, he also was on his stories, and he was putting, there's some actor or something where he put like, it's kind of like a subliminal where he was saying like, yo, we're going to win game 2. And everything was like 2-2-2, game 2. So I don't know if this is his new album coming out that's going to be game 2. I don't know if he's saying round 2, like, yo, I'm coming back out, I'm going at them. Like, I don't know what's going on. I know a lot of people wish that Drake would just stop and take a break. And I do understand that frame of mind, but you have to think that with or without this beef, Drake would be doing something like this. Drake is not a Kendrick Lamar where he puts out an album, goes away for 4 or 5 years. Drake never goes away. He always comes out. He gives you an album. He goes on tour. He jumps on someone's track. He gives you a mixtape. He comes out with like Drake loves being in the studio. He loves making music. So I like this just because I like it for Drake, and he's competitive. He, if he's saying, "Hey, we're gonna win round 2," that's him kind of admitting defeat. I'm anxious to see it, but I haven't seen him win anybody over yet. Obviously, like the DJ Academics, whatever, blah blah, his super fans. But I can't wait for someone to be like, "Yo, I'm a Kendrick fan, but this slaps," or "Yo, this is what I've been waiting on." You know what I mean? So I don't know if we're, like I said a couple of weeks ago, where I think he's maybe putting this out just to get all the hate out, and he's putting all these B-side tracks out, these loosies, and then he's going to come with an album, and he's going to come with like fire and heat, and people would have gotten all their hate out and be like, yo, this is the dude I love. So we shall see. I don't know what he's doing, but I have confidence. I do know I'm a little bit biased. I'm a big Drake fan. He's one of my favorite artists ever of all times. Yes, definitely top 5. So we'll see what the boy Drizzy's up to. All right, in our 6th and final quick story, the family of Robert F. Kennedy Jr. speaks out after he suspended his presidential campaign and endorses Donald Trump. The family of Robert F. Kennedy spoke out after he held a press conference stating that he was not terminating his campaign, but suspending it. During the press conference, RFK Jr. also endorsed President Donald Trump and said Trump had asked him to enlist in his administration. RFK Jr. also shared that his name will still appear on the presidential election ballot in certain states. His sister, Carrie Kennedy, released a statement on behalf of the family saying, "Our brother Bobby decided to endorse Trump today is a betrayal of the values that our father and our family hold most dear." If you recall, RFK's father, Robert F. Kennedy, was a former United States Attorney General and Democrat. Swipe to here. Anyway, so I don't want to even play a clip because I'm a little bit low on time now. So I don't know how I feel about this. I don't disagree with everything that RFK says or does. I do think there's a couple of things that are really wacky, like the whole the bear thing, and in the back of his car, he does have a lot of conspiracy theories. I have watched his interview on the Breakfast Club. I've seen a couple other interviews. He seems like an okay dude, but just some weird things. The thing that I don't really like is that him saying, "Hey, I called Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris. These Democrats keep messing with my head pronouncing her name. Anyway, so he called in. She didn't want to take his calls. He calls Donald Trump. Hey, Donald Trump's like, yeah, I'll take your call. I'm desperate right now. I'll give you a role in my administration. Cool, you got my vote. Like, you shouldn't be like, like volunteering your vote. Your vote should be your vote. It should be like, yo, I want to go for, Kamala Harris because I like her, even though she's not calling me back. So I'm going to endorse her, like, anyways, whatever. Y'all let me know what you think. Let me know what you think of all the stories in quick news today. Send me an email, trend@cfqr600.com. Comment below. Send me a DM at Trent Out Loud. All right, this brings us to question of the day. What celebrity couple had the biggest impact on pop culture? All right, the first answer, my couple, Barack Obama and Michelle Obama. They definitely had a huge impact. I don't know if it's the biggest. I had a question like this week. Pop culture is like, we're talking about like pop culture, like popular culture, like a influence of like fashion, style, words, music. Like you need to influence us with something, like what have you changed our dynamic? That's what influence means to me. So as much as I love Barack and Michelle, I don't know how much they've influenced pop culture. Have they promoted Black love? Have they promoted, being decent, great people? Yes, but I don't know if they've influenced and shifted pop culture. That's just my 2 cents. Laughing Beauty 582 said Bobby and Whitney. And spoofy movies, reality shows, rap lyrics. Okay, they're just saying all this stuff. See, although they didn't have a positive influence, they did kind of influence pop culture in a way of like the reality TVs and spoof and rap lyrics. But again, I don't necessarily agree. I don't think they've had a huge influence. They're just more like laughed at and talked about. Beyonce and Jay-Z, there is more influence. For sure, they influence pop culture with their music, with their style, with their, Jay-Z being a businessman and, Beyonce doing things. We have a lot of people growing up being like, I want to be like that couple, like that's an influential couple for sure. Another person said Adam and Eve. Okay, you're really being funny. Here we go. Jay-Z, Beyonce again. Somebody said Ray J and Kim. That's hilarious. Jada and August Agostina. Oh man, poor Will. Sorry, he's never gonna be able to live that down. Somebody said Pap and Remy. Again, they more influenced hip hop culture. I wouldn't say pop culture. Somebody said Oprah and Gail. Somebody said J-Lo and whoever at the moment. Okay, y'all are just trying to really be funny today and just not even answer the question. Somebody said Bobby and Whitney. Somebody said Stevie J and Jocelyn, Bobby Whitney, Peaches and Herb, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. Please, they're like hated. Somebody said Homer and Marge. That's a good one. President Obama and Michelle. Adam and Eve. That's a good answer. All right, I'm going to leave it off at that. I don't really have enough time. Oh, somebody said Ike and Tina Turner. Ike and Tina Turner did not influence anything on pop culture. That's like literally the couple not to be. Somebody said Charlamagne the God and Andrew Schultz are a power couple. Anyways, good answers, guys. Send me your answers. Let me know if you agree or disagree with me. Trend@cfqr600.com. Comment below or send me a DM. All right, this brings us to sports news. All right, I thought it'd be cool to kind of have a little question in sports news, seeing that the NFL is still in preseason. Although I saw some highlights on some pretty cool games happening in preseason, but nothing really to talk about. All right, who is the most successful athlete of the last decade across all sports? All right, somebody said God, he's raw and undefeated. Gosh, man, you all are literally just comedians today, huh? All right, Big Jam said, stupid question. How can you compare Messi and Mayweather, Ronaldo and LeBron, Lewis Hamilton and somebody else? Pointless question, just trying to get people to argue. I agree, to be honest with you, because this is very vague. Like, the most successful, what is that? What's success? Are you talking about money? Are you talking about championships? Are you talking about, well, growth wouldn't be in there, but it is very vague. Simone Biles, very successful. One of the most successful of the past decade, yes. But then if you're looping in everything across all sports, then you have to say Michael Phelps. He's the most medaled Olympian of all times. And I think he was probably in this past decade. So Simone can't be in there. LeBron James has been having a great past 10 years, but he's won what? One ring? Like, anyways, this is a very hard question. LeBron or Floyd, self-made billionaires. Okay, you have other billionaires too. What about Tiger Woods? But Tiger Woods wasn't really hot in this decade. Somebody said, oh, I already have said this already. Kobe Bryant. Okay, no. Although I do love Kobe. Shout out to Kobe. It was just Kobe Day. It was just Kobe Day yesterday, actually. Or no, I think it was Saturday. Anyways, Tom Brady, Simone Biles. People are just saying Simone Biles just because of the Olympics. You ask somebody this question in 6 months, they're not even going to say Simone. Lionel Messi. Who else? Tom Brady. Patrick Mahomes. See, Patrick Mahomes. He is, this past decade, he's been coming up and creeping of maybe one of the best football players, the best quarterback, and could be maybe the best athletes of all times if he could do like what, Jordan did, where, you do a three-peat, 2 3-peats. We'll see. He might have the most legendary career. Somebody said LeBron, dumb question. There you go. Michael Phelps. Somebody else said Michael Phelps. Lewis Hamilton for sure. Steph Curry for sure. CR7, Curry, Kevin Durant. I wouldn't put Durant in there, although shout out to KD. Anyways, I think that's it. Somebody said Kobe Bryant won an Academy Award before he passed away. It's the highest award in media and entertainment. So with him being a ready to accomplish athlete, adding an Oscar to his resume, he gets my vote. Hey, you're never going to have me argue with anything. Kobe Bryant, that's my guy. Anyways, thank you for kicking with me on this Monday. I know people could get kind of lackadaisical and tired and grumpy on Monday. I hope this kind of picked up your spirits and gets you on through the rest of your day. Before I go, got to remind you all the ways to keep up with the pod. For those of you who are used to watching the Trent Out Loud Podcast on YouTube or listening to it on podcast platforms, please try to check us out on CFQR600.com. I'm pointing to the sign on my microphone if you guys are watching the video. Please try to check us out on CFQR600.com on any device from anywhere in the world. You could just log in, hit that live button from 11 to 12. You will hear me and hear some great 90s and 2000s hip-hop and R&B. And, of course, it's 600 a.m. if you're in the Montreal area. But vice versa, if you can't catch the show and you're used to watching the show from 11 to 12 and you have an appointment, you have a Zoom meeting and you can't catch it, you can always check us out on Spotify or on podcast platforms. We upload shows daily. Just go to your desired site, type in Trent Out Loud. The show will pop up. Don't forget to hit the follow or subscribe button so that you can be notified every time we upload a new show. And if you're like me and you would like to watch your podcast with video, check us out on Spotify because Spotify does support video. All right. Oh, also, don't forget to check me out on all social platforms at Trent Out Loud and the production company Exclusivity Media on Instagram. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Have a great day. Peace. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It's your boy, Trent Out Loud. Peace.